Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette spoilers. Does Chock go home this week? Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos is well on her way to finding love again. She has some incredible men who are getting to know her better. One of those men is Chock from Wichita, Kansas. He was the lucky man who also got the first one-on-one date with Joan. They had a blast together at Disneyland. Things between seemed to be great, but now for the upcoming episode preview, it looks like Chock leaves. What happens? Keep reading to find out all the spoilers. Warning: spoilers for this season of the Golden Bachelorette ahead. Does Golden Bachelorette contestant Chock leave? There is an explosive episode ahead for Joan Vassos on the Golden Bachelorette. Previews for this Wednesday night show the men with special guest Kaitlyn Bristowe in Las Vegas. The men on the group date will be taking it all off for a good cause. The men will act as Chippendale dancers to raise money for cancer research. However, it is not the strip show that has everyone talking. It's the part where Chock says he is leaving. He is seen in the preview saying it's a fear of his, and he doesn't know if he can do this. It shows him telling the other men he is going to leave. Chock also tells Joan he appreciates her more than she will ever know. He then gets into a waiting SUV. Is that the last of Chock? According to spoiler guru Reality Steve, it is not the last fans will see of Chock. Steve revealed on his daily podcast that he does not know exactly what happened that led to this departure. Now in a new preview, it seems Chock has to leave for a family emergency. His mother has stage 4 cancer, and something happens that leads him to return to her. Joan says in the preview that if he doesn't come back, it will change everything for her. The good news is that he will be back. There are scenes in Tahiti that clearly show Chock there. The only ones who went to Tahiti are the final 3. Therefore, whatever happens isn't permanent, as Chock does go to the fantasy suites with Joan Vassos. Do not worry if you do not want to know how far Chock makes it. Reality Steve released final rose ceremony spoilers for Joan Vassos' season of the Golden Bachelorette. At first, he had it wrong. However, he found the correct information about who Joan chooses. According to Steve, Joan chooses to give her final rose to Chock at the end of her journey. While Steve is unsure if they got engaged, he is leaning more toward believing they did. He said he's heard rumblings that indicate an engagement happened. The drama is heating up on the Golden Bachelorette, and all eyes are on Charles Chockling as the spotlight grows increasingly intense. From the moment Chock stepped out of the limo on that very first night, there was an undeniable spark between him and our leading lady, Joan Vassos. His charm, suave demeanor, and captivating backstory as a self-made entrepreneur caught the attention of both Joan and fans. But as the competition intensifies, questions are swirling. Could this be the week Chock's journey comes to an end? The honeymoon phase crumbles. In the early episodes, Chock quickly emerged as a frontrunner, especially after securing that memorable one-on-one date with Joan in the second week. It was the date everyone dreams of, complete with a luxurious yacht, a sunset dinner, and heartfelt conversations under the stars. Their chemistry was undeniable, and Joan seemed smitten with Chock's thoughtful nature and openness about his past. But as the weeks rolled on, the honeymoon phase began to crumble. The cracks started showing when the group dates became more competitive, and Chock's cool exterior began to reveal a more complex, and at times, unsettling side. While the other men bonded and supported each other in their shared journey to win Joan's heart, Chock's competitive nature seemed to overshadow the camaraderie in the mansion. Tensions began to rise as the other contestants noticed that Chock wasn't just in it for love. He seemed determined to win at any cost. A growing divide. Joan, ever the perceptive Bachelorette, started to notice the shift in Chock's demeanor. During a recent cocktail party, she pulled him aside for a private conversation. What started as a casual chat about their shared love for adventure quickly turned into a more serious conversation about Chock's intentions. Joan had been hearing whispers in the mansion, other men questioning whether Chock was truly there for her, or if he was more interested in winning the title of the last man standing. Chock, true to his smooth-talking nature, reassured Joan that his feelings for her were genuine. He spoke about how much he valued their connection and how he could envision a future with her. Yet, despite his words, something felt off. Joan couldn't quite put her finger on it, but a nagging doubt had taken root in her mind. Could Chock's charm be masking a more calculated game? Trouble on the horizon. This week's episode promises to be a pivotal one, and the spoilers suggest that Chock's time on the Golden Bachelorette may be coming to a close. The preview teases a dramatic group date that pushes everyone to their emotional limits. While the date itself starts off as a fun challenge, testing the men's teamwork and problem-solving skills, it soon devolves into chaos. Chock, known for his laser-focused drive, takes charge of the group, but his leadership style rubs the other men the wrong way. Instead of collaborating, Chock's domineering attitude creates friction within the team, leading to a full-blown confrontation. Tensions explode when one of the contestants, Brian, calls Chock out in front of Joan. Brian, who has been quiet for most of the season, finally reaches his breaking point. In a heated exchange, he accuses Chock of being manipulative and using the competition as a way to boost his ego. Joan, visibly shaken, watches as the men go back and forth, their words echoing the doubts she's been feeling. The emotional showdown. The rose ceremony this week is said to be one of the most emotional yet. Joan's internal struggle is palpable as she faces the difficult decision of whether to send Chock home. On the one hand, she can't ignore the connection they felt. On the other, she can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. In a rare behind-the-scenes confessional, Joan opens up about her doubts. Chock is someone I've felt deeply connected to from the start, she admits, her voice tinged with uncertainty. But as we move forward, I'm starting to see a side of him that makes me question if he's really here for me, or if this is all a game to him. The final moments of the episode are sure to be heart-wrenching. As Joan stands before the remaining men, roses in hand, the camera zooms in on Chock's face. His usual confidence falters, and for the first time, viewers see a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes. Could he be realizing that his time on the show is running out? Spoiler alert. Chock's fate revealed. Now for the burning question, does Chock go home this week? According to sources close to production, it seems that Chock's journey on the Golden Bachelorette does indeed come to an end. The rose ceremony is said to be one of the most intense of the season, with Joan ultimately deciding that her doubts about Chock's authenticity are too big to ignore. In a tearful goodbye, Joan tells Chock that while their connection was real, she needs to trust her gut, and her gut is telling her that something isn't right. Chock, ever the smooth talker, takes the rejection in stride. He thanks Joan for their time together and walks away with his head held high. But as the limo pulls away, there's a moment where the camera lingers on Chock, his expression unreadable. Was this all part of his plan? Or did he truly care for Joan more than he let on? The aftermath. With Chock gone, the dynamic in the mansion shifts. The remaining men, who have long been overshadowed by Chock's larger-than-life presence, now have a chance to shine. But Joan's decision to send him home leaves her feeling conflicted. Did she make the right choice? Or did she let the opinions of the other men influence her decision? As the season moves forward, Joan will undoubtedly face more difficult choices, but this one will stick with her. Chock's exit may have brought her clarity, but it also leaves a lingering question. Was Chock really the villain everyone made him out to be? Or was he simply misunderstood? One thing is for certain, the Golden Bachelorette is far from over, and the drama is only just beginning. Fans will have to stay tuned to see how Joan's journey unfolds, and whether she finds the love she's been searching for, or if more heartbreak lies ahead.